How important is your social life to success? Growing up, I played football and I had dreams and ambitions of going to the NFL and just doing big things in life in general, whether it be NFL or business. I just knew that something great was in for me. Something great was in my future. There was no doubt about it. I worked very hard. Everything I did, I put my most into it. And one thing I realized while reflecting on my life from time to time is that one thing that I kind of sacrificed within the first 22 years, 21 years of my life is my social life. I always had the feeling and the kind of attitude that people were holding me back. That if you, that the less people you have, or the less people that I had personally in my circle, the more flexibility I had to do what I wanted to do because I didn't owe anybody anything, right? So if I had one or two people in my inner circle, well, I could do whatever I want because I don't have to appeal to this person or appease that person. And although I was pretty popular in high school, captain of football team, two-way starter, played both defense, offense. I was pretty popular. I'm not going to say that I didn't have friends and acquaintances, but for the most part, they were just that in my eyes. I kind of kept myself from being close to people because I didn't want anybody to drag me down. And it worked to a degree. I was the only one from my high school to get a scholarship to play football. So I was the only one to go to college to play football from my class and my team, both varsity and JV, right? I went to the University of Oregon. I live in LA now. I work for somebody I consider a huge mentor in my life. I was able to do a lot of cool things. I just came back from Norway. A lot of people I know haven't even left the city of New York. So I can't say that it didn't work because I was able to do a lot of things that other people in my class weren't able to do. However, I realized that moving from, I live in LA now, I live in West Hollywood. One thing, and I talk about this a lot to people close to me, is one thing I realized from going from East Coast to West Coast is how important people are in your life, right? Because although I have my dream job working for somebody I truly admire, there's times where I do feel lonely. There's times where I am not having as much fun as I could be having because I'm totally alone, right? All my friends and family are back on the other side of the country. So I realized that, hey, sometimes people ask me, is New York better than LA? And I can't really answer them. So I say, obviously New York is home and there never will be a place like home. But I do wonder if all the people I knew back in New York were in LA, would LA be as fun? And the chances are it probably would be. Now, what I wanted to talk to you today about was the importance of friends, and not just friends, the concept, but the quality of friends, right? I have a close friend of mine, and we debate, she's a female, and we debate all the time about being judgmental, right? She is somebody who is very open spirited, I guess you could say. But I guess you could say she gives people chances. She doesn't really judge people harshly. And me, I am somebody who does, right? Remember the old Planet Fitness commercial, the campaign that they had about being a judge-free zone and how you're not supposed to judge other people and everybody feels safe. If you sign up for Planet Fitness, you lift whatever weight you want. You don't have to worry about being embarrassed. Well, I've never been somebody who kind of attested to that sentiment. I never really felt that way. I've always been somebody who judges people, and I judge people quickly, and I judge them fast. And the reason why I came up with this thought is because I'm reading a book. I'm still reading the book Bigger, Leaner, Stronger by Michael Matthews, and the chapter that I'm reading is about inner game. Right? There's two sides, I guess you could say, to fitness. There is obviously the outer game, which is do this amount of reps, do this sets with this exercise, etc. And then there's the inner game, which is your mindset, the attitudes that you have within that allow you to carry out the outer game, right? If you have a poor inner game, well, your outer game is a manifestation of your inner game. So what he says is that, he goes into the paragraph and he says that if you're struggling, with dieting or exercise, it is a good idea to alter your surroundings with people who can help you get your goals. So for example, if I am struggling with diet, well, it will help me if I have people around me who are good at dieting, right? Or have a good diet. My mentor always said the easiest way to make $1 million is to hang around people who making $1 million would be embarrassing. So it's kind of the same thing for anything that you're doing in life, whether it's dieting, making money, or whatever. Hang around people who are already at the goal or are achieving what you're doing, right, at a better rate than you are. And the reason why I bring this up is that the opposite is true. So if you hang around people who are worse than you as far as succumbing to their impulses and their desires of, let's say for dining, for example, if you are around people who succumb to eating the cheesecake, too many slices, or binging on ice cream, well, then you're more likely to do the same thing. So to wrap it all around, the reason why I'm so judgmental towards people and towards people I let in my inner circle is for that reason, because I am cognizant of the fact that I know that the people I let into my circle are, number one, a reflection of me to the outer world, and they impact me directly, right? If I allow people in my inner circle who are not as serious I am about business, fitness, and all this stuff, well then, I will soon succumb to that myself. Yeah, one of my coaches, Coach Bali, he always said, if you hang around 5 assholes, you're bound to be the 6th asshole. So that basically goes into that, that this kind of topic is be careful who you let in your inner circle. I have grown over the past 11 to 12 months. I've grown to be more appreciative of social life and having a social life. That's something that, like I said earlier in the video, is something that I kind of suppressed to get to where I'm at. And now that I'm here, I'm kind of realizing the importance of having a decent amount of friends and hanging out and spending time with people, but never ever lose sight of the fact that the quality of people you hang around will always be important, no matter what. I do believe there's a time and place where you have to sacrifice your social life to get to a position where you could do things you want to do. But no matter where you are, whether you were me when I was younger or whether you're me right now, never sacrifice the quality of the person you hang around with, because you don't want to be that 6th asshole. So, like the video. Tell me what you think. How is your social life right now? How are the people you're hanging around with? Jim Rome always said you are the sum, well, not sum, but you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Comment below. 1 through 10. 1 being least effective, and 10 being ideal. What is your rank 1 through 10 of your social life? The 5 people you spend your time around with. What is the average of them, and are you happy with that average? And a way to bring that average up is to read a lot of books, watch a lot of YouTube videos, get a mentor. That's an easy way to kind of bring up that average, right? I work and I spend time with a mentor for 7 to 9 hours a day, and that's kind of helped me within the last 11 months bring me to where I need to be, or at least start the path of where I need to be business wise. So what's your average, and what is something you could do to increase that average? So I'll be in the comments. I respond, I like, and I am interested in hearing your responses.